Hi guys, it's Morgan from the Trove, and I know it's already a week into 2017, but Happy New Year, and I hope your holidays were great. I meant to do like a what I got for Christmas video and like get this video up way sooner, but I got really sick unfortunately, so I couldn't film. But even though it's a week into January, I still figured I'd share my 2016 favorites with all of you. I didn't do one last year and I really missed doing it, so let's just get right into it. I am not used to seeing myself with the dark lipstick on whatsoever. Like, new year, new you, right? I figured I'd try something new, so I'm still getting used to it. This year, you know, pretty much this past year, 2016, was universally hated by a lot of people, and I feel that pain. This was not like my year makeup wise. I didn't wear makeup for the most of 2017 or 2016. I used to be the person that would get up and sit down at my vanity and like take enjoyment in doing my makeup every day, because it was just, I don't know, it was like an artistic expression for me. It helped, like, I don't know, it helps calm me down. I really love sitting there and doing it, and I totally fell out of the habit of it. It didn't make me happy anymore. It just felt like a chore to me, so I figured, like, why even do it? So this year I wore the least amount of makeup that I ever have since I was probably like in my late teens. So I'm surprised that I actually have this many makeup favorites to share with you. I did find some really nice cheap products this past year, which is just amazing. One product that like totally completely changed my life in 2016 was the NYX Gotcha Covered Concealer, and this little guy is like $7, and let me tell you, this stuff is hardcore. It is a heavy duty concealer. I've talked about this before, I have really bad hyperpigmentation underneath my eyes. I get really like purpley brown like craters right under here. It doesn't matter how much I sleep, how little I sleep, it's just genetic, and I'll always have it, and I'm always on the hunt for like a really good concealer to cover that up, because it is something that I'm like most self-conscious about, and I think I found that in this. This is full coverage. They say it's waterproof. I wouldn't say it's waterproof. I have cried with it on and it doesn't smear or anything, but I don't think it would like stay on if you were like going swimming or something. They say it's a dewy finish, which is perfect for me because I have really dry skin, especially in my T-zone. Like, most people are oily in their T-zone. I get super dry in my T-zone. So I can put this on and it will have like a dewy, tacky finish, and I do always have to set my concealer. It doesn't matter what, because it will crease. So because I have to set it, it makes it like the perfect finish underneath my eyes after I set it. So I love it so much that I actually got it in two colors. I have it in the color light and the color ivory, and if you are a pale girl like I am, the color ivory is so light. Here, I'll swatch it so you can just see it is super light. So if you're looking for like a heavy duty concealer and you're really pale, like, this is even too light for me right now, because for once I actually got a tan this summer. I know you wouldn't be able to tell, but trust me, this is tan for me. See how light it is? And it is, like I said, full coverage. It'll cover your veins. I wouldn't recommend using it on blemishes because it can get really crazy really quickly. You seriously only need the tiniest amount of this stuff or you will wind up looking like cake face. Like, it took me a long time to get the right amount, but once I did, it's a lifesaver. So NYX Gotcha Covered Concealer was my lifesaver for my tiredness in 2016. And then going along with the under eye theme, like I said, my under eye circles are out of control. So what I like to do is I like to put a salmon-y corrector on and then go over it with concealer. And this past year I found the perfect corrector for me, and that is the Coastal Scents Concealer Hot Pot Concealers, and this is my original one. He has seen better days for sure. He is almost gone, and this is in the color number 3, which is very pink toned, as you can tell. I like that it is really emollient and like heavy duty, because you only need a little bit of it. It makes way for my dewy concealer, so it kind of like, they balance each other out in like the consistency wise, whereas like if I went over with this dry Hot Pot concealer and then went in with a dry concealer and then a powder, it just ends up looking like the desert. So I finally found the perfect combination of concealer for under my eyes. I'm happy with how it looks every time. Before, I would just like either look really crepey, or it would accentuate like the fine lines that I have that I don't really have. It would like, I felt like I looked like an old lady at the end of the day, to be honest. Oh yes, I forgot to mention that pretty much all the products that I'm going to talk about I am wearing right now. So, it just to give you an idea of how they look on your face. Eyeshadow wise, if I wore makeup at all this past year, I did not wear eyeshadow. So I'm surprised that I even have eyeshadows to recommend to you, but that I did a video on these and they're really great for the price, and that is the Beauty Treats matte eyeshadow palettes that are $2 each. I got mine at Five Below. This one is like a neutral palette. This one is a brights palette. I have the gray from this one on my eyes right now, and the hot pink from this one underneath my lash line. They are obviously meant to be dupes of the Viseart palettes, and obviously I can't tell you whether or not they're as good as the Viseart palettes because I don't have $80 to spend on an eyeshadow palette. But for what it is, for being $2, they are amazing. I live for matte eyeshadows. I don't really wear shimmery eyeshadows whatsoever. So the fact that I can just pull this out, make an entire look, maybe throw in a pop of color with this, and that's all I need, is amazing. I took this with me when I went to conventions, multiple conventions, and this was all I needed to create an eye look, and I was very happy with that. So if you ever see these at Five Below, they have I think 3 or 4 of them. Definitely pick them up because you need them in your life. And then earlier in this year, also $2, I fell in love with these little guys. I also made a video on them. I'll link all the videos below. They are the Profusion Blush Me palettes. And the pigmentation on these blushes is insane. Like, I completely forgot. I hadn't used these in a while, and when I went to wear it today, I put this, I have this color on right now. When I put it on, it was so bright I looked like a clown. I completely forgot how pigmented these are. They're absolutely crazy, like out of this world, and they stay on for a really long time, and they're only $2. They're buttery soft, which is something I really like about them. The only thing that I don't like about them, like I said in the video, is that they have like an old lady makeup smell in the pan, but once you put it on your face you can't smell it. But I can't have it like open too long on my vanity or it just like gets to me. But these guys are amazing, like completely amazing. I have never come across a drugstore blush that stays on this long. I brought these with me, like I said, to like with the eyeshadow palettes, I brought these with me to conventions where I'm wearing makeup for like over 12 hours usually a day, and by the end of the day the blush was still on. So if you ever see these at Five Below, which is where I got mine, you should snap. Now my last beauty favorite for this year surprises me because it is actually a high-end product. I don't have many high-end products in my collection of ridiculous outlandish collection on makeup. And a lot of people put this product in their favorites video, but it is such a luxury to me to even have it that I have to talk about it, and that is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Moonchild Glow Kit. I got this for my birthday, and I just, ever since I got it, I haven't worn any other highlighter. It's like, look at it. It's like holographic and amazing, and it just, I don't know. Being a pale person, I really like the idea of like most of these highlighters being like celestial and cool toned. I don't know, I dig the whole vibe of this palette. I love that they're duochrome finishes. My favorite is definitely Pink Heart, and I think most people say that their favorite is Pink Heart. I have Pink Heart on my face right now, but also being a night person and being awake when the moon is up, I don't know, I just feel like this translated my soul into a makeup item. I really love the green one, Lucky Clover. I thought that would be my least favorite in this palette just because who wears a green highlighter, but I actually have worn it numerous times because of the finish. It's very subtle. It's not like green. You're not like, oh my gosh, green on your face. Because I did dye my hair green at the on the ends this past year, I really got into green as like a color. Green was like my least favorite color for the longest time. Don't ask me why. So to go with my hair, I would like wear the green highlighter, and I just fell in love with it. I thought that Purple Horseshoe would like be my #1, and it's surprisingly not. Pretty much you can find a use for every single one of these colors, and it's $40 for 6 different highlighters. I think that that's a pretty good deal, like for a high-end makeup kit. Makeup product. So this definitely like was my favorite makeup item out of everything this year. Last year I dig the concept. It reminds me of like the late 90s when at like around the millennium everyone was wearing like ridiculous like metallic frosty things, and I had all this disgusting Claire's makeup that had this same kind of finish, and we would put it all over our eyes, and just the whole thing was ridiculous, but it reminds me of my childhood also. So now I have a couple of random favorites for you. I know in past years I would do thrift find favorites and vintage favorites, but honestly, if you've been here before, you've seen my ridiculous amount of clothes that I have, and this year I did not bring that many new clothes into the house just because I have nowhere to put them. I didn't really vintage shop a lot. I went thrifting way less, so I don't really have like an amazing thrift find to share with you. Like in past years I had thrifted like 3.1 Phillip Lim skirt, Ferragamo flats, like, you know, ridiculous high-end stuff that runs up at the thrift store. I didn't come across any of that this year just because I wasn't really looking. I've been thinking about doing this for a while, which is where I showcase some of my vintage personal collection, like based on decade. I don't know if any of you would be interested in seeing that or if that's boring, but I really miss doing fashion videos because I don't know, it's just part of my like artistic expression, and if you guys would like seeing that, I would love to make a video. Anyway, I digress. I'm rambling as usual. I didn't get to read a ton of books this year because I don't know, my head was just in outer space or something, but I did get this for Christmas last year and I finally finished it, and that is M Train by Patti Smith. Patti Smith is one of my heroes, and I wasn't quite sure how she would write because I had never read a book by her before. This book, I don't know, it's just, there are no words. Like, I can't even describe her inner thoughts. I relate to how she thinks, I think, and, you know, sometimes it's really hard for me to explain like exactly how I'm thinking, and I feel like she translated that in like for me in this book. I don't know. I took it with me when I went to Seattle, and on my way back home, it was a 5-hour flight. I read more than half of it in one sitting, and I started crying on the plane. It was really embarrassing because I'm sitting there and I'm reading this book and I started crying on the plane, but it's that good. Definitely worth picking up and worth owning, and it's printed on this really nice paper that just feels silky under your fingertips. I don't know, I think that makes a huge difference. And going along with books, this book is very special because I don't know if I've talked about it on my channel a lot before, but in 2016 I really got into K-pop. Like, I listened here and there sporadically over the years, but this was the year that I like full on committed, and I reconnected with an old friend of mine over it, and she gave me this book, which is the Big Bang Made series collection. You can't see it, but here, this is the sleeve. Let me take it out. It's basically like a coffee table book. It even has, like, look at this. It even has like a bookmark, and it goes through like every single concept of their Made series, like each video. Oh, the photo card fell out. I have Daesung as the photo card because Big Bang is a lot of people's first group. Like, they were my first group that I really got into. They're like the gateway to all K-pop. It's really nice to have this because they are such an like important part of K-pop to me personally. Like this one, like it starts with Loser, like it goes through all of them. Like, here's a photo from Loser, and then it goes all the way through. Like, here's We Like to Party. I don't know, it's just a really nice like art book to have, especially because they're about to go on like TOP is about to go into the military. I don't know. It's just a really one of my favorite things. And she gave it to me when we were at KCON, which was one of the highlights of my year for sure. We met up and we got to go to KCON and we saw, I can't even remember now. This is so terrible. We saw Mamamoo, Day 6, Eric Nam, and BTS. So that was awesome. I can't get it back. I keep it in the sleeve like a psychopath. Like, my OCD must be so bad because I keep everything in sleeves like this. Like, this has the original sleeve. If you didn't notice, my Anastasia glow kit is still in the sleeve. Like, I have a problem getting rid of like the extraneous packaging just because I'm like, that it's not the same. It's not brand new anymore. Oh no! I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm a damaged human being. And my last favorite is also while I was at KCON, I got to go into New York City and actually buy a album, like a K-pop album. And this was like my favorite album of the year. And I'm so glad that I got to buy a physical copy of it. And that is this She Is by Jonghyun. He is like my favorite man in K-pop and I love his music. I don't know. It's got this crazy like really saturated 80s style concept photo book. It's really cool. I don't know. I'm just happy that I have it. Definitely one of my favorite things that I bought for myself this year. I didn't buy myself like a ridiculous amount of things just because, like I said, I don't need more stuff in my life. I don't need physical things cluttering my life any more than they already do. But I did treat myself to this. Like, I think it was like a month after it came out. So I don't know. I'm happy that I got to buy this because I don't really collect K-pop albums. Like, some people like really collect, and I'm just not that person. But I really enjoyed buying it. So, other highlights this year, obviously, I got to go to Indie PopCon with Brian, and I got to see him do a panel where a bunch of his fans came, and that was amazing. And I got to go to Seattle, a place that I never thought I'd ever go to PAX West. That was really an amazing experience. I got to see SHINee in concert. I made a vlog about that. I'll link that below. A lot of terrible things also happened this year, like my car exploded on me during a road trip to Virginia. Just a lot of hardships in general and not feeling like myself 100%, but I really want to get back into making videos, get back into that creative headspace where I used to do creative makeup looks and fashion looks, and I don't know, I just want to regain a piece of myself that I lost in 2016 in 2017. So I hope you enjoyed my weird amalgamation of favorites. I'm slowly getting back to myself every single day. So I hope you stuck around. I mean, I keep getting subscribers even though I don't post anything, so thank you for being here. Any of you who watch this, it means something to me, so thank you. I hope you had a wonderful holiday and a great new year, and I hope that if you had a terrible 2016, you can regain a piece of yourself back again in 2017. So, like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you want, and remember, stay cheap and lazy. Bye! Hope there's still not lipstick on my teeth. Wow, this chair just turns by itself. It's kind of creepy. I keep going. Okay, let's stop. Okay. Bye.